Today's life seems so fast-paced compared to when we were growing up. I wouldn't say they were easier back then, but definitely simpler. I always look forward to the little bottles of milk we used to get at school.
Falling around in the mud, eating what we were given, sharing hand-me-downs, and losing our loved ones to the war. It's a world away from nowadays. I always hated having my mum cut my hair for the school photographs.
I remember playing in the playground of Victoria Road Infant School in Bensham and seeing all of the kids running around playing skippies and itchy dabber.
Me, my brothers and sisters all went to All Saints School and loved the school dinners. When I passed my 11 plus there, I thought it was the bee's knees. Usually we had to walk everywhere, but when we did get the tram, I always wanted to sit upstairs at the front, so I felt like I was driving it.
I remember the first time I went over the bridge was on the tram with my mum. We were going to the big shops in Newcastle. It felt like I was on some kind of adventure.
I remember getting told off by the conductor for ringing the bell too many times for the next stop, but I still always did it. There were loads of shops back then. No supermarkets, no takeaways, no online shopping.
We would go to Mrs. Charlton's sweet shop and we would spend ages choosing our favourites. Penny Minor mints, Dr. Tanner sticks, hard licorice, coltsfoot sticks and Victory V's. We would drink Ventman's ginger beer in a brown jug that had a stop top to keep the drink fresh.
Mum would take us to Shepherd's. Mum would have a Profi ticket and she would exchange these tickets for Shepherd's tokens. One time after shopping with my mum, we got home to realise that we'd left my baby brother in a pram at Shepherd's.
Mum would also take us to Dainton's on Derwentwater Road. It was a food shop that always seemed to be quite well stocked. Back then, shops weren't open 7 days a week like they are now.
I used to save up money from my odd jobs to buy a copy of the Beano. I couldn't read back then, but I used to love looking at the drawings over and over again. Usually, we cut up bits of newspaper and make them into squares, put holes in the top of the paper, and put them on a string to hang on the wall next to the toilet. But sometimes we'd end up using my comics.
When I'd help Mum use the mangle and hang the sopping wet clothes on the line to air, she'd let me go to the park. Me and my friends would play for hours on the tin pot lid roundabout and swings. Sometimes we'd have enough money to buy an ice cream to share.
My older sister would take me to look at the birds in the cages. Other times we'd play in the maze. I remember the brass bands playing and the fun we had hiding from each other behind the big trees with other kids.
One summer my cousins came to the park with us and we hired a rowboat. Afterwards we had a picnic. The dads sat together smoking and the mums played skippies with us in the sunshine.
I remember they had a bonfire in the little park one time, and we put tatties in the ashes to cook them and then eat them.
I'd always want to push my dolly in a pram round and round the pond, and I'd tell the naughty ducks off if they got too close. Every now and again I'd let the ducks come close so I could feed them. Our corner shop was a general dealer's and they took batteries and charged them up. One day I got caught stealing a tomato which I'd hidden in my top. The shopkeeper stopped me on the way out and splattered it. It went all over me under me jumper.
I had 3 brothers and 2 sisters, so it was a full house. So I'd often go out to play cricket in the street, or knocking 9 doors a few streets over.
I remember there was a street party for the Queen's coronation, but it was delayed because of rain. But everyone still had a great time once it got started.
We didn't manage to have a street party, but luckily next door had a TV, so everyone went there to watch it.
My dad's friend was the local milkman, and I remember being woken by the noise of a crate of milk crashing to the ground.
My uncle and granddad were lamplighters for the gas board, and I'd often see them when it was getting dark lighting the lamps in our street for the night.
We were so used to rationing, plain cooking was the norm. Mum always had tatty hot pot on the table, ready for when Dad got back from the mines. Luckily it was my favourite.
My dad didn't work down the mines, he worked on the boats that transported the coal on the time.
We lived in pit streets, houses built for the pitmen. From my bedroom I could see over the countryside, and in the distance was Axwell Park Coke Works.
We thought we could tell what the weather was like by the direction of the smoke blowing through the sky.
Sounds crazy, but it's true. I'll play the fool for you. I'll play the fool for you.
I always enjoyed playing cricket and football for my school team, but my favourite game I played with my friends was marbles in the back street.
I enjoyed the sports days that the company my dad worked for would organise. I remember the rides, games and candy floss the most. It was such a good day out.
We saw some great films back in the day that were black and white. I remember the usherette coming round with a torch, cigarettes and matches.
We would pay 1 and 6 to go to the pictures on a Saturday. As kids, we would eat turnips and apples in the picture house while the black and white newsreel played. My favourite was the Isoldo cinema, where we saw Miracle on 34th Street.
When we moved away, we took the train. Mum baked fresh bread and covered the bread with shipment's paste from a jar, and then put a little polony sausage on the top for the trip.
As kids, we had days out to the beach. Colour coats was the favourite. We would leave early in the morning and travel with our jam sandwiches. Sometimes it would be beef dripping.
The best holiday we had was going to North Shields for a week and staying in a caravan that belonged to the coalman. It was so hot we spent most of the time on the beach, building sandcastles and playing in the sea.
If the weather wasn't so good, we'd go to Shipcote Baths and afterwards get a penny dip from the shop. I can remember my first job being at the iron company in Berkeley and all the other factory women wearing their headscarves.
We had an outside toilet, and when the winter came, you knew about it.
We were lucky as we had a toilet and a bathroom indoors.
Before central heating was installed, we'd scrape the ice off the bedroom windows inside. Imagine.
I used to watch them building the Berkeley bypass from my auntie's house when we'd visit every Sunday.
When I got a bike, I used to ride down to the Dunstan power station and watch the men going in and dreamed of one day working there. And then I did.
Would often go for walks along the riverfront with my dad. Would throw pebbles into the mud on the banks as we walked along.
One day after school, I went to see them launch a ship on the Tyne and lost track of the time. My mother found me as she was on her way to Swinburne Street Police Station to report me missing.
My family had a wireless and we listened to Round the Horn, Arthur Askey, football matches and the Archers with my mum. We would try to guess what the next episode would be like.
When televisions arrived on the market, a neighbour bought one, and she would let me and my sister watch Children's Hour and some of the children's serials. Happy times. I have been lucky in my life, living in Gateshead, watching my family grow up. I wonder what memories the next generation will talk about.